Alright, so the cat isn't working, but that's not really important right now. I just wanted to, since I didn't stream today, make a quick video about, you know, the the update. So they added a new game mode. I played it a little bit. It's Blast Off, low gravity, CL40, pixelated. The skins in like a render, like a 3D render style kind of thing. It's pretty fun. I enjoyed it a little bit. They improved the destruction physics, Uh, yeah, they fixed this so it doesn't just go launching everywhere. And Skyway, same thing. You know, the walls destruction. They've they've rolled them out. They feel like it's better. I haven't seen anybody say it's improved or anything, but hey, that's what they said they did. CNS time, 4th of July stuff, new stuff in the store, new Twitch drops. There's a Matter, a Cyberus, a sticker, and the Shack. Well, that's good for me, so people might actually tune in. Customize your intro and outro. So now you get an intro and an outro. There's also a new like ending. They didn't mention it here. There's an ending. There's an ending thing, right? They changed the ending animation. They added like a little animation where you pump your hands up in the air. Because before it just the destruction, everything, it wouldn't work that well. They did something with the dummies. They have an easy and a hard version of the big box battle. Here's the stuff I care about. So they finally nerfed the H infuser. They removed 5 HP from a shot. The flat healing per second on stationary targets during a cash out steal has been more impactful than we expected. So like while people are taking the cash out, um, they wanted to nerf that, but still make the gun viable. So I understand. This is actually a good change. I feel like this is an alright change. It makes it so you can't just stall on the cash out. Like you can't just immediately stall on the cash out. The emitter got kind of a rework actually. They reduced the cooldown, right? But now you have to destroy it, and you can like kind of recall it like the turret. Um, so I might throw that up on screen, but you can recall the healing emitter instead of having to like um instead of it just waiting for it to recharge, you have to destroy it. But they did buff the cooldown. And yeah, and it can be retrieved via manual interaction, sending its remaining cooldown to 3 seconds. So it's like the turret. Yeah, you could drop it carelessly. It makes you think about more putting it down because you don't just have it all the time. You can't just stack them like you used to do before. Like before, I used to like just use it at cash out and just leave it there. Now it's more beneficial to either recall it, destroy it, or take it. The gateway, they increase the cooldown on items that travel before they can re-enter it. Um, this is less of a like nerf and more of a like when there's a canister on your gateway, go through back until like one out of range. So it's just like a overall thing. It doesn't really nerf anything because grenades aren't gonna come back through. Um, and yeah, they shouldn't just go back in through it. Like sometimes barrels used to come back through it. Take a closer look. A little out of sync with their initial intent. This is just like when you pull out your weapon after pulling out an item. They fixed some of the times. Like they wanted to line them up so all of them would be the same. So some weapons it took longer to pull them out after pulling something else out. Some took less time, so they kind of standardized. This is more of a standardized change. Like the 93R, they decreased it from 2 to point 0.5, uh, and they decreased the unequipped time from 2 to point 0.5, and then other weapons they increased it. So like smaller weapons, like a pistol, you should obviously be able to pull out quicker than a whole like AK or a repeater. Um, but they standardized a little bit. Some of them were point 0.2, and they really should have been point 0.3. It's a very small change, but it's a little noticeable. Like you might not be able to do damage as quickly, but yeah, this is the one that thing I like. They nerfed the CL40. Finally, they increased the stealth damage. So if you shoot at your more feet, if you shoot at your own feet, you're gonna take more damage. They've decreased the inner blast radius, which is the one that give you the big damage, right? Like on the lights, 3 taps lights. They decreased it by 10 centimeters, which yeah, you have to be a little bit more accurate. It's not a huge nerf, right? They they kind of still want it to nerf. Well, I don't understand them not nerfing it as much because they want it to be good against the heal ball. But then they also nerfed the heal ball in the same update, which made it like less viable. So I don't know why they kind of didn't want to nerf it back into obscurity like it was before. But I still think that this is a good change. Um if I'm honest, they increase the weapon equip time, decrease the weapon unequip time. So to take it out of your hand, it's supposed to be slower. To put it back in, it's supposed to be faster. So they just kind of fixed that. Unequip, unequip, equip. These are more like standardization changes, other than like direct nerfs or buffs to things. Uh, they increased the height of the I just played a game with Sledgehammer before reading these patch notes, and I went 23 and 12, so I can definitely tell they changed something there, because usually with Sledgehammer I go like 9 and 24, like I go negative after the nerf. They buffed it, so they increased the height of the primary attack hit sweep from 15 to 25 centimeters, and making it more reliable to hit. um they really didn't like the first person view. They don't really match their animations, so I think they're gonna try and change either the animations. Yeah, either they're gonna change the animations or change the hitboxes to match the first person view instead of the animations, which I don't think is a good idea. I think changing animations would be better, but you know, decreased, increased, standardization, new weapon system. They temporarily disabled the for automatic weapons to fix like hit fact. The campfire bug. So that's like I've caught it on stream a few times where like I'm pressing the trigger and it's not firing. And then some bug fixes. New animation slot. You can cycle. You can customize your cycle animations. Your cycle action animations. Also, instead of like before where you have like the pull out animation, the pull down animation, that you can change those now. Um, Before it was kind of laggy or like weird, where like you could randomize them for some reason. It didn't make sense. Um, so when dashing or when charging with the sword or holding grenades, they improved those, because before you would wobble a lot while you had the sword charged or grenade pulled or the bow. They fixed the bow a while ago, but you would wobble a lot, so they fixed that. And then the double up reload for animation, they fixed like a very small minor like visual bug where I think your hand would clip into the mag or something like that. They redid some player voiceover content. I think they did this before, but they just mentioned it here, like the sledgehammer, the "hello there," like I like that line. I just think it's funny. They added some more, added some commentary when the team has two cash outs. You're not gonna hear this all that much unless you're in like a very low lobbies or very bad lobbies. Um, they added voiceover lines from players' respawn statue. Uh, so like when you revive when you want to send a revive, sometimes it's hard to see like the little like blinking thing. It'll send like a voice to your teammates, like a gargly voice. Um, they gave them more defined muscles, which I think is just funny. They fixed haptics. I have haptics off anyway, so I didn't notice this. Um, this is a lot. They did a lot with cosmetics, so you can tell that this is their focus. I'm kidding. Uh, you can have a win in an intro and a winner's emote. Closed beta choose. I don't care about the beta. Um, Campsite creeper face wear no longer clips with. It's just like clipping. Um, yeah, these are just like clipping, zooming in on contestant's face. Mirrored, uh, mirrored, time freeze emotes so the bullets don't appear in the wrong location when they're viewed from different. Yeah. Fix an issue that contract 5 opponents. So like they should really stop doing these minor grenade things, because they keep these contracts like for a while have been glitched. So I don't know why they keep putting them in the pool. Data reshaper. These are all I think visual, just visual changes. Like the H infuser would look like it's out of ammo all the time until you shot it, which then it would look like it had ammo. So that's just like a visual thing. When it connect to players who stood below it, like it wouldn't like go down. I thought that was like a thing that made it so you had to stay near it, but I guess not. And then the game modes, they upgraded the winner sequence, like you pump your hands in the air. I like it more than the original one, because mostly the original one would just bug out. Um, so they fixed this. It's not supposed to spawn that close. Like a few times it would spawn like what, like yeah, literally next to the cash out. Um, just a bunch of stuff in the practice range. You can read that if you want. I don't really care about any of this. I barely use the practice range. Maybe that's why I'm so bad at the game. The doors, they just there's an interaction delay now, so you can't just flick it open and closed. Detected enemies will not appear if they were inside smoke. They were supposed to appear. Uh, so the smoke grenades let them figure this out. I think mostly what let them figure this out is smoke, plus the Via event. Like you couldn't see people inside if you were standing inside of it or if they were inside of it, which I thought was, dumb because the sonar grenade tracking dart and like prox sensor are supposed to detect people through smoke. That's like kind of their purpose. They fixed the zip line, suspended structures. They moved it a little bit. Um, Partially destroyed structures have visuals along with their damaged edges. So like before it would like appear as like a like weird square shapes. Now it appears like a circle. The size of visuals, they just fixed like lamp bulbs not being breakable. I don't think that really matters. I like, oh no, we can't break the lamp bulbs. Like the people, some guys just really complaining about this. They fixed there's floating rubble. There used to be like floating stuff in the air. I never really noticed it because I didn't really care much about the duck and cover thing. It barely changes anything, honestly. They moved the map border so you can see it from behind the windows. You can see there's a death pit behind them, so you don't just jump in. Um, so like the big tower in Kyoto doesn't just bounce around anymore. It just doesn't launch into the air. Uh, Something for Seoul. I'm not reading all this. You can slow this down, pause if you want to read it. Private matches, you can drag and drop. They added blast off to private matches. I think they should just keep these events in private matches, honestly. Like there's not really reason to like remove them. Um they increased reflection quality, fixed an issue where you can a menu could appear after closing the text using the escape key. Pending friend requests are able to join price chats are no longer able to join. So before, if you sent a friend request, you could just join voice chat if it's set to friends only, when usually you shouldn't be able to. Um, so it used to be able to you used to be able to send a recruitment request to people who aren't eligible to it. They couldn't accept it, I don't think, but I sent one to Calms and Combo. Uh, he's obviously not played less than 10 matches, so I think that's interesting. Fixed an issue where charge and slam would be slower if it was initiated while firing, mostly because it was comboed a lot with the flamethrower. Um, and a bunch of UI changes. I'm also not going to read these. And then security, like they just updated their anti-cheat, so good. And that's it. And these are honestly, I'd say good changes. I do just want to mention that I do think that the CL40 at least should have been nerfed a little, just a tiny bit more. I think just the damage. I think the damage should have just been nerfed a tiny bit to where it's still 3 shots lights. I think it 3 shots lights, I'm not sure. But to where it's still 3 shots lights, but takes an extra shot to kill heavies. Because as heavy, it's very annoying still. It does like um, a lot of damage. But I do think that this change, well, I'll see how it plays out. If this change works well, then and I don't see the CL40 a lot more, then maybe I'm just complaining to complain. But that's all the balance changes. They're pretty good overall. Most of them are just, this is just a direct buff to the sledgehammer, which I definitely felt when I was playing the game. I really enjoyed this. I'm glad that they buffed the sledgehammer back because it's in my opinion is one of the most iconic weapons in the finals, just at all. Like it's one of the most fun weapons to use. So I'm so glad that it's viable but not overpowered. It was still viable before. Don't get me wrong. Sledgehammer was like A tier, maybe high B tier before, but now it's like I think it's back into like solid A, maybe even S if you want to push it a little bit. But I still think most of the stuff is good. I did notice like a one visual bug with a contestant in a light class, like their headpiece was like stretching. But other than that, I haven't noticed that many bugs. And I did notice the heal ball change, but it didn't really impact me all that much. It didn't impact me to the point where I felt it was useless, but I also didn't feel like it was as overpowered as before, if that makes any sense. So I think overall these are very good changes. Yeah, I think that's it. Um, Twitch drops. Tune into Twitch. I'll throw it up on the screen. I'll probably edit this in a little bit. Tune into my Twitch to get your drops. I'll probably be streaming maybe tomorrow if I have time. I don't know if I have time. I might have to do something, but if I do have time, I'll stream a little bit. Uh, just come in, say hi, and yeah, that's it. Have a good one. Um, just nerf flamethrower.